Master Low. It'll be grand.
Hello, everybody. Fáilte go dí. Another episode of Sure It'll Be Grand. A bonus episode, a very, very special occasion. And I don't mean St. Patrick's Day, I mean Snyder Cut Day, everybody. We have come...
Hold on, why didn't we do a St. Patrick's Day episode?
I don't know, because similarly to Pokemon Day, when it on St. Patrick's Day, I thought, hey, we're like our whole shtick as a show is we're Irish. Shouldn't we have done something like an Irish movie for St. Patrick's Day? But, you know...
To be fair, I was in bed sleeping all day after having drank quite a bit the night before. I feel like I did the most Irish thing.
Yeah, I spent the entirety of St. Patrick's Day in bed nursing an awful hangover.
Yeah, I mean, you did start mixing Corona with whiskey.
Yeah, I did, and then I just drank the whiskey.
Yeah,
and I went to Sleepy Boys, and I woke up like the worst hangover I've had in years. It was terrible. But I
don't get the hangover thing.
I hate you for it, and you don't,
I just sleep a lot.
Don't announce that to the world, because everyone will hate you as well. You don't get hangovers, the worst kind of people. But that's besides the point. We're not here to celebrate St. Patrick today. We're here to celebrate St. Zachary of the Snyders.
Believe it or not, both were canonized by the church.
100%. We have come at long last. We are being allowed to bask in the glory that is the Snyder Cut. It's been years in the making, and finally it has arrived. Some said we were fools to use hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Some said it would never happen. Some said we were miscreants. And we were only using...
we use the hashtag?
We were only... I probably used it, yeah.
Okay.
And some called me a moron. Some said the Snyder Cut will never happen. The studio will never allow it, sir. And
they were half right.
And then there was a pandemic. And things shifted a little. And Zack Snyder...
became desperate.
Zack Snyder finally got his chance. He's finally back in the saddle. And we're here. Yes. And the Snyder Cut is out, and we fucking watched it.
We did.
My God, it took an entire day because it's 4 hours long, but we watched the Snyder Cut yesterday.
We did.
We watched it, so you don't have to. Maybe that's a title we should use for this, one of those clickbaity titles.
Maybe.
We watched the Snyder Cut, so you don't have to. No, I'm not going to do that. Let's not fall into that.
What we could do is we'll just cut down the movie to the scenes that we think are worth watching, so you have a great 20 minutes.
Here's what I was thinking. We could do, what's going to happen, right, is we're going to do this episode of the podcast today, a regular review type episode, and then in about 2 or 3 years time I would like you to release your special extra long cut of this episode with a bunch
because that's what I was talking about. We were watching
just with a bunch of added audio of just you like stuck in places and like
because
move things around.
Look, well, see, this is what we call someone who's salty, who, as a podcast, I like to think that we could talk about things as they happen on screen, but Owen was constantly telling me to shut up.
I said it once. Once at the start. You were talking, like, there was a harrowing scene.
Can you blame me? Can you blame me?
I mean, no, but it is a habit that you have when we watch movies. You do tend to talk over scenes that are supposed to be, like, quiet and sad. You do it regularly.
I talked over the battle scene when someone was wrapping an arrow.
No, it wasn't that. You were talking while an Amazonian was dying under the weight of a horse, and her queen was cradling her head in her shoulder.
Yeah, which looked stupid.
Anyway, the Snyder Cut is here. So, quick recap. I mean, if you've been living in a cave or something and you don't know about the Snyder Cut, or you don't know about Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Again, stop saying "R" so much.
No, he's all of ours now. Produced by Charles Roven and Deborah Snyder. Screenplay by Chris Terrio, based on a story by Zack Snyder. Based on the Justice League. You know people know the Justice League from DC Comics.
It's the 6.
Starring Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, Willem Dafoe, Jesse Eisenberg, Jeremy Irons, Diane Lane, Connie Nielsen, and J.K. Simmons.
Actors.
I think I got everybody of note there. I probably missed somebody, but those are the actors. All right? It's 4 hours long. It's 4 hours long, and this is so... All right, that's off the top. Let's get out of the way. Let's move in. Let's dive into what the hell is going on here, because there's a lot going on here.
There is.
What the hell is going on?
Right. So what's going on here? The basic.
What's the Snyder Cut? What's the Snyder Cut?
The basic story of this, right, is that. So Zack Snyder was like hired to be, I guess, the Joss Whedon of the Warner Brothers DC universe, the DC extended.
Until Joss Whedon was hired as Joss Whedon of the DC universe.
The DC extended universe, but I mean, as in like Joss Whedon did it for the first Avengers for Marvel. He set up the whole first phase and like got them off the ground and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder was supposed to do that for the DC extended universe or the DC cinematic universe, whatever the fuck they're calling it these days. So he started off. He made Man of Steel, chef's kiss of a movie. Then he made Batman vs Superman. Polarizing.
That's chef's kid.
Polarizing, to say the least. Then he started.
Martha!
Yeah. Then he started to make Justice League. All right. So already, they've done it wrong because there's only been 3 movies and they're trying to do Justice League straight away. They've already done it wrong.
Look, man. To be fair, we had a Batman vs Superman movie before a Batman
That's what I mean.
movie.
Yeah, like they did the whole thing arseways, but Zack Snyder came in. He said, "All right, I'll make Justice League. I want to make 3 movies. I want to make a Justice League trilogy that can tell this story." And Warner Brothers said, "No, you asshole. Make a single 2-hour-long movie." And Zack Snyder then had some personal tragedies at home, and he just sort of gave up. He said, I don't have the energy to fight with the studio anymore to make the movie the way I want to make it." And this was maybe halfway through filming, probably a little bit more. There was like a lot of the movie kind of done. He wasn't finished it though. So he left. Said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out, bitch. Zack Snyder don't need this shit." And
he didn't.
He didn't need it at all.
No.
It was probably definitely the correct decision for him. And you know, Joss Whedon, premier asshole.
Everyone's favorite person.
Asshole of the month. Joss Whedon was brought in to finish the movie, but he changed it drastically.
Yeah,
he
made it Avengers like.
Which is it's a lot of people will say, what's the difference? Is this not just like Zack Snyder? Not just is it going to be the same movie with some like extended scenes? It's a completely different. Like it shares some scenes. There are,
it has some signposts.
There are, of course, there are some
scenes,
scenes, but even the scenes in this that are in the Joss Whedon one are tonally and like they're edited differently. The audio mix is different. The soundtrack is different. The way the scenes are cut together is different.
Fairly sure things have been re-rendered as well, because some of it looks far better than originally did, at least from my viewing.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, it's all in 4:3 to start with.
Which people are losing their minds over. I didn't mind at all. It felt nice watching that.
It's never been something that bothered me. To be honest, my brain gets used to that very quickly.
Instantly.
It's just a different framing. You don't like. The only question I had is why. Like, why did he want it?
It was for Max. It was for IMAX cinemas.
That's supposedly 4:3 carries over to IMAX screens better than 16:9, better than regular widescreen. So that's the only reason people can think of is why he did it in 4:3 was because he's probably just hoping that it will get some sort of limited theatrical release and it'll be easier to make.
Or it was filmed in mind for in the first place, so that's why he wants to keep it like that, because there's still 2 hours of the original cut there.
Yeah, if he shot those scenes and then Joss Whedon was like, "Nah, bitch, it's all widescreen."
Yeah,
that was kind of rude.
Yeah, and that explains a lot as well.
Yeah, but it's a very different movie from start to finish.
Yeah,
like I don't even know. But basically, sorry, I didn't even finish the story. So Joss Whedon's movie came out and it was shite. It's a terrible film, and
it wasn't great at all. No,
everybody agreed this is a terrible movie.
Yeah,
Joss Whedon tried to.
Except Truth, Justice. That's a great scene.
No, I mean there's
it's
superheroes, so there's a couple of moments in it that you're like, yeah, that was cool. Yeah. But like, Joss Whedon tried to like take what Zack Snyder had started and just mush all of his like Whedonisms in on top of it, and it just doesn't work. They don't mesh together. The film is just tonally so up and down. You move from like Zack Snyder's like somber, like fucking these are mythological beings and we treat them with fucking reverence and stuff, to like Joss Whedon probably making boner jokes and stuff, and it's just like, this doesn't really work. Sorry.
And the weird beard thing, like the beard thing, they got rid of that beard thing completely. They straight up said, we're not using the beard thing for the new movie. Just cut it out completely.
The beard.
The editing of the beard thing on Superman.
Oh yeah, but that's because all of the shots in which they had to CGI Henry Cavill's mustache off were shot by Joss Whedon.
But here's the thing: like, even when you let's pretend the beard thing was fine and they edited it perfectly, I don't think any of those scenes really add to those movies.
Maybe the truth, justice, and the American way bit at the end.
Well, yeah,
cool
but they did a good job
No,
at
they
actually
didn't.
hiding the beard in that one. Did they not?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm in a weird minority where I didn't think it looked as bad as people like made it out to.
Which is
be.
weird because you're so biased when it comes to slightly off
Oh,
graphics. You're always the first one. Oh my god, it looks terrible. It looks terrible.
It looks
genuinely.
It looks bad, but like it's not like the rest of the movie looks great.
No,
there's no need. People made a big deal out of it. It just became a meme. Like it's
no
fucking
man.
Get
it looked
over
like a
it.
Snapchat filter.
Yeah, but Snapchat filters are pretty advanced these days. They look pretty good. There's a Snapchat filter that can remove your beard right now, and
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me look extra fat.
Well,
it's fat enough,
but it removes your beard. And
it just puts a pink blob over my beard.
It does a fine job. Maybe that's exactly what they did. They're just like, fuck it, man. Just stick a filter
Somewhere
on it.
your film teacher is crying right now.
Well, no, they didn't. They wouldn't have taught. They didn't teach me how to computer generate a non-mustached face.
Yeah, I guess not.
What's the?
I mean, I don't know what they're teaching in schools these days.
I was a fucking terrible course. I didn't even teach me how to remove a mustache from an actor for a movie. It was terrible. But
yeah, you can see how the industry is as bad as it is. You know.
Yeah, pretty much. But Joss Whedon's movie came out. Justice League came out. Everybody hated it. It was awful. And slowly but steadily, a steam train of hardcore fans and believers in Zack Snyder's vision started campaigning that Warner Brothers... Now, when this started, it was Warner Brothers should release Zack Snyder's version of the movie. People assumed that Zack Snyder had enough of the movie done that they could just edit what was there and release it. And this would be the Snyder Cut. It would be the same movie, but Zack Snyder would re-edit the thing and fix it. That's how it started. People were under the impression that this thing existed already and Warner Brothers had it and they could release it. It did not exist.
Not even close.
It did not exist at all. But eventually, like, it partially became an internet meme. Like, release the Snyder Cut just became a fucking, like, a comedic thing that people would use.
Yeah.
Which I wonder if Warner Brothers' decision was based on, like, the popularity of hashtags and stuff. How many of those hashtags were people taking the piss out of it? Yeah. We don't know. But eventually, slowly, it kept building and building and building, and then slowly, like, people like Jason Momoa, who plays Aquaman, were like dropping into like release the Snyder Cut, and they were coming out in interviews saying they wish Zack Snyder got to release his vision.
Okay, here, no, I'm going to step in here. Momoa literally said, release the Snyder Cut the day before the Snyder Cut thing was announced. He was clearly on board.
No.
He knew it was going behind the scenes.
That was the second time. He said it before that, like a couple of months before.
Are you sure?
Yeah. He did. He used the hashtag. He was like, and he said, the actor said in like interviews and stuff. Henry Cavill, I think, was asked about it, and they all were like, "Yeah, we'd love it. It would be great. We're all on board." Zack Snyder's vision of the Justice League story is what we signed on for, not Joss Whedon's, basically. Ooh. And all the directors, like Patty Jenkins and man who directed Aquaman, whose name I can't remember,
To be fair, we can't remember that one movie either.
Horror
so it's fine.
also did a Fast and the Furious movie, I think, and some horror movie. I can't think of his name. Sorry, not important. They said that Joss Whedon's Justice League, they don't consider canon to their movies. Basically, they're like, that's not. They're like, we spent years working with Zack Snyder on building out like our movies to fit the Justice League narrative.
Yeah.
And then Joss Whedon came in and just did his own thing. We don't know what he was doing. We have nobody. It doesn't count. Ignore it, basically. Yeah. So that happened. And then eventually the day came. A new sun rose. I remember the day well.
Them in the sun.
I remember where I was. I still remember it. You will never forget the day you learned the Snyder Cut was real. And I was hyped.
Most of it was just, I was like, oh.
I remember
actually,
it. I saw it on Twitter first, the announcement, and I sent it to you and another friend of ours pretty late in the night because American announcement. And I was hyped. I was like, holy shit, it's actually real. It's fucking happening. They're making the Snyder Cut. And at this point, it wasn't like they hadn't yet said Zack Snyder's going to essentially make a new movie. They were just like, the Snyder Cut's coming out next year. And everyone was like,
episodes or something like that, or
yeah. Initially, they said it was going to be like 4 parts or something, but like, holy shit, it's real. It exists. We were right. We're vindication at last.
Again, you talk like you're part of the army.
I was part of the army. I was a leader. I was fucking.
I feel like you just jumped on the wagon later on. There,
you're wrong. I'm gonna search my own Twitter later, and I'll bring it up. I'll see when my first instance of using hashtag.
We'll make that the episode cover. Just your tweet.
I'm just gonna I'll find as far back my oldest mention of the Snyder Cut. And knowing me, it's probably me going, will you shut up about the Snyder Cut? Like,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I was thinking it's good. What are you on about?
It's not going to happen. But it happened. It's here. And Zack Snyder, Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder spent $70 million to shoot some extra scenes and to like redo a lot of the CGI and to re-edit the movie.
And they didn't have to redo much marketing for it either because everyone else was doing the marketing for it.
Oh, the marketing was done in advance.
Yeah.
It was the...
So I suppose that's why they let it happen because they didn't really have to invest all that much.
It's like just probably the peak example of just organic advertising that I've ever seen. This movie essentially made itself. It just like happened. It was just the clamor of people going, oh, we want this movie to happen. And it just, they said it so much, it happened.
Yeah. It's almost like the Sonic thing when the really bad Sonic design came out.
The first design of Sonic.
Yeah, and people just went, no, this is terrible. And for the first time I've ever seen, the studio went, all right, yeah, okay, we'll change.
Yeah, that's, fair enough. Yeah. The cynics will say that was on purpose as well. That there's no way they actually wanted Sonic to look like that. He looks like a demon, man. It's so
he does. I don't think it was done on purpose, to be honest. I think it was just someone above rushing things and say this is what it should look like. Let's not do like a game. And the designer crying into his hands while he's drawing it.
Yeah, probably. Imagine there's just one guy who made that original Sonic design, and he's just like he adored it. He's like, yes. This is my Sonic the Hedgehog.
No,
I'm so
there was not an ounce of love in that design. That designer was just, oh, god damn you bastards.
Yeah, it really was.
Anyway, back to
Sonic 2 is coming out. Anyway, so the Snyder Cut happened. It's here, it's alive, it's living in all of us, it's part of our hearts now forever and ever more. We will never escape it. Ever.
It's certainly an event though, isn't it? It is something it's new.
Yeah, I think this is our first episode not doing a movie review because it's barely even I don't know if I can call it a movie. It's just it's a monstrous like pop culture event.
Yeah.
It's huge. Like
it's kind of it's as big as when Game of Thrones failed and just disappeared instantly. That was a huge event because it's like, wow, how did this happen? This is another event.
This is the mountain peak to Game of Thrones finales, like Ocean Trench.
Yeah.
Like, this is the height of it. This is
and both weren't exactly amazing. It's just that they have an impression into culture, and
I'm gonna call it the Snyder Cut is better than the Game of Thrones final season.
Well, yes, of course it was, but like, again, I think we mentioned low bar about 10 times yesterday when watching this movie. Like, it's easy to be better.
Yeah. Look, let's talk about the movie then itself.
Oh wow, are we going to do that? What?
We're gonna just like. Not. I'm not. We're not. I can't. I honestly. I said this right before we started recording. There's not a hope in hell I could even attempt to recount the 4-hour plot of this movie. I watched it yesterday, and I don't remember it. Most of it, like, it's there, and if somebody brings up a scene and says, "Oh, I remember the bit in the Snyder Cut where this happened," I'll go, "Oh yeah, no, I remember that."
Yeah.
But I couldn't sit here now and go, start to finish, this is what happens in the 4 hours of this movie. Like, not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I suppose the big thing is it's 4 hours long. Does it feel the 4 hours to you?
It not really. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, we watched it in kind of two. Like, we watched, like the first hour and a half, maybe.
Just about an hour.
And then we were kind of like, all right, I'm hungry. I need to go get something to eat. So we kind of left for like an hour and then came back and watched the final 3. But the final 3 hours didn't feel like 3 hours.
I will say the first hour felt a lot longer. I remember when you said, "Oh, we're an hour in," I went, "Oh my god, what?"
Yeah, the hour.
I don't know. It felt like quite a long time there.
Part of it was that, like, I kept remembering the plot of the other one. The Justice League. I kept remembering. I kept remembering the plot of that one, and like it follows the same plot. Like, there's not a change in, like, it's still Steppenwolf is looking for the mother boxes, and Batman's trying to bring together the Justice League to fight him and save the world. Yada yada yada. Superman's the best, goated, PogChamp, and it's that. So I kept like, we'd get to bits of it, and I'd be like, I know what's gonna happen next. I know where the plot goes next, but there's still 2 hours of this left. So I just kept thinking, what has Snyder put in here to stretch this out more? And the answer is slow-mo. If all the slow-mo scenes in this movie were played at regular speed, this movie is 2 hours long. Because it's like...
Here, you know what I'll say? I was just concentrating, okay, there's loads here. You know what they'll do next? They'll put that future vision timeline thing in any moment now. It's going to happen any moment now.
No.
And if you're waiting for that, folks, just don't. It'll come, but it's not going to come when you expect it.
There's just a lot. There's a lot of, like, that's the thing is, this movie is very, I won't say, I mean, it's slow. It's kind of slow paced in that, like, but there's an awful lot of opportunity for these characters to actually kind of take a minute and just breathe a small bit. There's no, like, Joss Whedon's is constant, like, forced fucking, like,
jokes
as well, but like conflict between the Justice League and stuff. There's all the Whedon film has all these like weird little, like, oh, Batman's a bad leader and they don't want to follow him anymore and blah blah all this kind of shit. There's none of that in this. Like,
no,
I will say Batman. Batman doesn't make any jokes.
Right, we do get a little hint of animosity between them, but not in a animosity between the individuals, but like their history, because they'll talk about Amazonians and Aquamanians, Atlanteans. Like, they said they had a history and they didn't get on well, and there's a little bit like, hey, we're going to do this. No, we can't, because then the mother box does this, and then that's a good point. So there's more debate than actual, like, animosity.
And that's like the Whedon one was very much like, these people don't get along, but they have to come together to save the world, kind of thing. It's a lot more like on the nose, as like, oh, Batman, like, Aquaman doesn't play well with others, and the Flash is a loser. So, or like, all the stuff with like, oh, Batman has to teach the Flash how to be a hero and all this kind of stuff. That's all gone. That's not there anymore.
Also, I'm kind of glad I remember in the original movie they had a little bit of a thing like, oh, Wonder Woman and Batman, they're kind of flirting. That was reduced a lot in this. Like, it wasn't
like,
there that much.
It's still there, sort
little bits,
of.
Yeah.
Like, there's more of a mutual respect between the two of them in this, and it's less like, there's none of the weird Whedon stuff where every other male in the Justice League is just like, Wonder Woman, look at her skirt, and there's all these creepy jokes between the Flash and Cyborg about her in the Snyder Cut.
There's a bit of a joke.
Well,
there,
the Flash says, "Do you think she likes younger men?" And Cyborg immediately is just like, "She's 5,000 years old, man. Every man is a younger man." It's basically just like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, shut up, please.
And can we say one thing this movie got right to the other one? Like Cyborg and Flash, they're actual characters. They actually have scenes there. Cyborg especially, like everyone's important in this. Every single character has their part to play. Whereas we didn't really get that with the
no, and it's straight up like there just wasn't enough time in 2 hours to give all of these characters proper introductions, backstories, and character moments that they need. Like it's not like it's not like the Flash is a side character.
No, he's not.
He's the
It's almost like they could have really done with like, I don't know, like a trilogy. Like imagine if someone thought of that.
I mean, could you imagine if some utter genius of cinema had thought of this years ago?
Ruined it.
Way ahead of his time. If the genius of Zack Snyder, but that's what they say, man. He's just too ahead of his future. I can't think of the phrase. Ahead of his time.
Yeah.
A man out of time. A future hero. Whatever the fuck. He's Zack Snyder.
Wow. Okay. But definitely the Flash and Cyborg had far more to do, more than because I was saying this to you, like before, the scenes I can remember from the Flash is that where he catches the Batarang, where he's digging a grave with Cyborg, and where he helps a car move very fast.
He races Superman right at the end.
Yeah, you keep mentioning. I have no memory of it, but I believe you.
But I remember it because it's more of a Superman moment than it is a Flash moment. Yeah. It's literally like during the final fight thing in Chernobyl. It's not Chernobyl. It's called Port Novia or some fuck shit. It's Chernobyl, and they're in the Whedon one. They're during that fight because Superman arrives a bit earlier and does a bit more in the final fight in Whedon's one. Yeah, and he's Superman. I don't know. I can't remember specifically. They're doing something, and the Flash is like running as fast as he can in a certain direction, and Superman just like flies up beside him, like looks at him and just kind of smiles and nods his head, and the Flash is like, "What the hell?" And then Superman like flies ahead of him. It's basically like, oh.
Here, look, I have nothing against the idea of Superman challenging Flash's speed, because like that scene when Superman first comes back and he's kind of manic and everyone's trying to fight him and Flash is trying to run up and Superman turns his head angry looking at Flash. That's brilliant. That's what I want. But we also then get to see Flash dodging Superman's punches so that Flash is still faster. He can, like, Superman can keep up, but he's not as fast.
I've said this I don't know how many times, all right?
Yeah.
The Flash is speed. That's his thing.
Yeah.
There's no... If Superman is faster than the Flash...
There's no point.
Why does the Flash exist?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he has all this other speed force. I was like, yeah, but it's because he's fast. Yeah. He's so fast, he can enter other dimensions. Yeah. Like... Nobody's faster than him.
Superman should still be strong. He should still be fast. Like, and maybe he should even be almost able to keep up, but never complete, never to beat him.
Oh, he can't beat him. Yeah. Like he can hang around a little bit. Yeah. Like if the Flash is out for a morning jog, Superman can go with him. But if the Flash turns it on, no, Superman can't be faster than him. It's just
there's a great thing in the comics recently. I think it was a few years ago where Superman and the Flash, I think that they actually argue, they're having a battle or something, and the Flash is about to outrun Superman, and Superman goes, "Barry, remember all our races? I bet you every single time." And Barry goes like, "Those were all for charity, Clark. I let you win." And he just disappears at that. And that's the Flash,
Yeah, I mean, I will say, while we're on the subject of the Flash, not a huge fan of Ezra Miller's Barry Allen.
No, I'm not.
He's like, there's yes and no. Some of it I like. Some of it is just kind of like.
He's too fumbly.
I don't know if it's even because Barry Allen is. I mean, I guess he is supposed to be that before he becomes the Flash, but like it's more like he's just really awkward, and it's almost like they were. I still think I said this in the original when the first movie came out. I think they're trying to make the Flash like the Tom Holland of this thing. He's like the younger, kind of scrawny, awkward guy that isn't really good.
Batman puts his arm around you'll be all right, kid.
Whedon was 100% going for that in his one. That's why there's the whole shit in the middle where Batman is all. Remember the Flash is like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not a superhero. And Batman's like, just save one person, then you'll know. Blah blah blah. That's my Batman voice.
it's spooky.
It's impeccable.
Yeah.
But that's not there in this one. Like at least in this, the Flash they're all heroes in their own right. Like the Flash doesn't need Batman to tell him how to be a superhero.
Yeah. The Flash is definitely a hero. He helps small shops when they're being robbed, and then he oddly touches people in super speed as they fall from a truck collision.
He caresses hot dogs in slow motion.
Yeah, which definitely wasn't a euphemism, as he was stroking her face and the hot dog was coming into the screen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
hey, at least we got to see her, Beaver.
Well, I mean, I was just about to say she's finally actually got to have a scene as Iris West. Now, honestly, they could have just used a fucking CG dummy of her, because it's just her in slow motion for most of it, frozen in time.
Very much. But, she has the same face throughout all of it, to be fair.
Yeah, but she's Kiersey Clemons, at least she finally got to play the character a little bit. So where did it go? It's only been 8 years in the making. I
did like the hot dog moment though, and when he put the hot dog in his pocket, and I was like, why is he doing that? And then just later on, he's trying to get a job. I like that. That was smart, fast thinking.
Yeah, it was just it was weird. It was, I get it, but it was still odd. It was still a weird thing.
It was still weird euphemism going on there.
Yeah,
visually wise.
It was very strange.
Cyborg is a big part of this.
Cyborg. Yeah, I mean he gets a much fairer shake in this, which I don't know how you feel about this, but a lot of people are reading this as Zack Snyder's throwing his support behind Ray Fisher in light of Ray Fisher's falling out with the entire world over Joss Whedon.
Right. Oh, are people backing Joss Whedon over him?
Not since other people have come along, but Ray Fisher has been saying for a couple of almost since the last Justice League ended, since the movie after the movie came out, Ray Fisher has been saying that Joss Whedon and the Warner Brothers executives and everybody on that set treated him like shit, and he felt like he was abused, I guess, and being racially profiled and stuff like that by Joss Whedon in particular. And he's been saying it for years, and he said I will never work with. He doesn't ever want to work with Warner Brothers again. He doesn't want to do any more of these movies. Yada yada yada. And it wasn't until other people, some of the Buffy cast and stuff, came out recently and said that Joss Whedon is a piece of shit, that people have kind of been yeah, cool. So a lot of people are taking it, especially because at the start of the movie, the directed by Zack Snyder thing comes up on the screen over a still close up of Ray Fisher.
Right.
People are it's probably a loose thing, but people are definitely kind of taking it as Zack Snyder really believed in Ray Fisher and in this character, but people are always kind of being maybe Zack Snyder wanted to be
I'm not sure about that necessarily. I don't know enough to make a point on that, even from what you're saying. But what I can say is this movie definitely feels like Warner Bros. Basically said, look, Zack, you get to do this one movie and that's it. But he's keeping a lot of doors and a lot of ideas open on the table to say hey, you can pick any of this up and bring me back for it. Here are all the things you could do with this. I definitely think it's his way of challenging the studio, saying, I think you're going to bring me back after this. What you going to do?
Yeah, it's hard to say. He's said publicly that he doesn't want to. He's I just want to make this, I still have this story in me from all this years ago. I just want to get it out. I want to make the movie that I wanted to make 5 years ago.
But he clearly
he's I don't want to say what I don't want to come. Yeah, he's probably lying. If Warner Brothers turn around after this and are hey Zack, do you want to make a Justice League 2 and this time we'll let you do it whatever way you want?
Yeah.
It's hard to see him not doing it.
Yeah, I definitely look. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's all an act," but Zack Snyder seems to genuinely be delighted and appreciative of the fans of this.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem cynical. It doesn't seem fake. He seems genuinely like, "Thank you for actually caring what I wanted to do," and I can respect that. I can say what I want about this movie, but that's the sort of adoration between creator and viewer, or taker of art, and I can appreciate. I really can.
Yeah. I'd agree. I think I said this to you after we watched it, that there's such a like a concrete lack of cynicism throughout this entire movie, that it's so every scene is like, Zack Snyder clearly views superheroes as like elevated mythological beings. He's likening every scene of this is likening them to like ancient
Big
gods. This is Zack Snyder's pantheon of beliefs, and it's
also keep in mind it's dripping it, but he's also showing the human side of them as well, because that's the whole big thing about Greek mythology,
but I mean,
too.
Even just the imagery alone, like all of it, it all looks like Renaissance paintings. It looks like everything in this looks like the Sistine Chapel. It's that kind of like cherub and kind of like, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not an art.
The warm
guy,
round
like,
shadow and light things.
It's all of that.
I know exactly.
It's like he really adores this stuff. This superhero shit is not a game for him. Like, he loves it.
And that's what I was saying as well. Like, the writing isn't amazing. It isn't. Some of the dialogue is really on the nose, especially a lot of the Wonder Woman empowerment things. Don't get me wrong. I am with you. Empowering women, great thing to do. But when it's so on over the top, and it has no layer, it has no depths. It's just said by Wonder Woman, and we go, "Oh, cool," and that's it. But outside of the writing, there is a lot more heart in this movie. It's not just from Zack Snyder, but it's also from the people playing the characters. Like, you can see the acting. They cared about this.
Yeah. Even just, we were saying that, like, Cyborg and the Flash are not the only two people who are a lot better in this movie.
No.
Ben Affleck actually seemed like he was here for this.
Yeah.
The way this one's put together, he's awake, I think, during this movie. He's around.
And I was saying this to you. He is so there, in fact, that he's far more Ben Affleck than he is Bruce Wayne, for example.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he's Ben Affleck. He's Ben Affleck with a bit of whiskey in the morning.
He's not the Bruce Wayne that people like. It's a different take on the character, which it is for, I mean, pretty much everybody in this. Or they're not like they're not the straight A, the regular instances that you see of these characters, which is fine. But like, he just, even from an acting standpoint, he seems like he's actually present during the process of making the movie. He wanted to be here, which is like, well, I mean, I suppose we'll talk about the extra scenes and stuff a bit later. But just the rest of them, like Gal Gadot, I'm not a huge fan of hers in general, but she's not bad in this. Yeah. She's she has some stuff. Look,
I like a Wonder Woman,
Jason Momoa,
he's grand. He's all right.
Like, he works a lot more in this, I think, than he did in a full 2-hour movie where he had to carry the whole thing. He has his like
stupid jokes.
Yeah, like there's none of that in this. He has like he has some cool moments. He's a lot more like drawn in and kind of reclusive almost.
I will say
more.
I want to talk about one scene with Jason Momoa, and it's the only scene that I really enjoy of his, is when Batman brings the Justice League members to the Batcave, and he introduces Alfred and said, "Oh yeah, I work for him. This is his place." Yeah. And they just all walk past, and he just goes, "Awesome, Alfred," or something along the lines. Look around.
He says, Alfred, badass.
Yeah, and it's such a good scene. Like, that's good humor as well. Like, it's not nudge, wink, wink. It's just like, good.
I think Alfred's great in this.
He
By
is
the way,
such a good Alfred.
he's a really good Alfred, and it's
The tea scene.
I think you could see it. You could see in the old one that there was something there that like you can see. Oh, clearly, he can. There's an Alfred in here somewhere.
Yeah,
this guy can.
Had a rapport with
this guy
Bruce
can
Wayne,
play Alfred, but like
he's
so much better in this.
Oh, it's so good.
He's a great take on Alfred. It's really good. Jeremy Irons.
Because like most of the time with Alfred, like you see like he's working on the plane or he's doing armor, but then when you think, okay, this is just a different kind of Alfred who's more involved in the mechanical side. That's fine, that's fun enough. And then Wonder Woman makes tea, and suddenly he is the most English, and to an extent how an Irish person would be about making a cup of tea. Don't boil it too hot.
Like, backseat tea maker. He's looking over his shoulder the entire time. He's like, no, pour the water in first. Let the tea.
She's like,
let
are you
the tea
sure you don't want to make this? No,
you make it. You make it. Go on, no, you make it. But no, that's too much tea now. Don't put. No, we have enough tea. No, you're going to let it sit, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to make it. No, you're making it yourself. You're doing great. But just no sugar. Don't put sugar in it. Yeah, it's great. He's great in it, and there's like the wittiness is kind of still there without like the like Marvel constant punchline stuff. There's still some good stuff going on.
Here's one thing I say about the Marvel thing is they give you time to laugh, and that's actually not a good thing. Like you'd watch and they say something funny and they just kind of look at each other for a second or two going,
yeah, big time. I think my favorite example of it is at the start of Endgame, when all of the like surviving team members or whatever, they're having like a hologram meeting with Black Widow, and there's a line in it. Rocket Raccoon says something, and Captain Marvel looks at his hologram and says something's like "shut it, fur face" or something, and then she just pauses. She just stops talking for like 5 seconds, and it's clearly just like, all right, now here, you laugh here. Laugh. She said something now. You laugh right here. And then like she waits the 5 seconds for you to stop laughing and then continues with what you were saying. It's so obvious, but yeah, it's fine. Right. So one looming question I must ask. Jared Leto's Joker. What did you think?
Okay, so here is a very controversial. I never hated him as the Joker.
I like
even when he had all the tats over his face. I thought he was sinister. I thought he was creepy. He was very different to what we've had before, for sure. Like, but that's not a bad thing. Even if it's not my favorite version of him, I didn't hate it. I loved the purring. I thought the Joker we saw in this, which is again some weird future vision, different timeline job, we don't know. He's a lot more reserved. He's a little bit more boiled down. He's a little bit more in charge of his faculties. He plays with Batman a bit more.
Like he is, but he's also creepier than ever. Even
That's good, isn't it?
No, it's great. Like even his laugh, the cackle that he does is so like it's so slow and sinister and like fucking just the whole I really liked him. I think
and also, you know what I loved about it? He laughed at weird times. Not even funny parts. He was just like he'd look around for a while and then just go and it's like, oh god. The
whole thing is like I'm with you. I liked his Joker in Suicide Squad, to be honest. I think that especially the
could have done more
in the extended cut of Suicide Squad. All the scenes that are added are Joker scenes that they should have been in the movie. He's just I just like him. I like his take on the Joker. I think he's cool.
Yeah.
Now
it's not my favorite take. It's a different take, but
but I like him. I would like to see him do more of it, to be honest.
We're allowed to like different versions of things, folks.
I would just like to take this moment to say huge ups to whoever it was, whether it was Zack Snyder or Jared Leto or somebody in marketing somewhere, whoever decided to release a teaser of Jared Leto's Joker saying we live in a society and then not have that in the movie is a genius, because that's incredible. And I knew when that teaser came out, everybody lost their fucking shit, and they were like, that was designed to hit people in the face and get everybody going, oh my god, this anybody who was going to hate on the movie anyway was going to be like, look at he said we live in a society, they're so stupid, did you not realize that's a dumb line, they're so dumb. And I was sitting here kind of going, there's no way they don't know that. There is no way they have such a lack of self-awareness that they think putting that line, having the Joker say that, would be an actual thing people would like. So it was brilliant. They whoever it was, man, they cooked the shit out of us. It was just like
one thing.
I loved
it. One thing you say actually about the entire movie, in my opinion, is that it seemed fairly self-aware. It knew what it was doing. It was honest about what it was doing. It was doing it. This sounds very cringy. It was doing it for the fans. Like it knew what it was adding because the fans really wanted to see it. So with it. We live in a society. I think that's a part of it. I think that's the most obvious element. But even things like Martian Manhunter showing up and them actually properly showing him and then talking to Batman and all that stuff, like the fans have been begging for this for years. Since Man of Steel happened, and they're like, that general, he's definitely Martian Manhunter. What the fuck? And it's just like they find that, yeah, no, he is. It's okay. You can calm down now.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll move into our Jesus moment now, and we'll try and pick out a Jesus moment. Before we move
I got a suggestion. Just to shake things up, I want us to mention 3 things that we really liked about this in the Jesus moment. Like 3 Jesus moments. I was like, oh Jesus, but it's good.
All right, challenge accepted. Okay, Jesus, 3 good Jesus moments then.
Yeah, I just think I want to, like, all the cynicism I could have about this movie, I do actually want to talk about things that are just straight up better. I don't want to go into what's worse, because I don't think there's anything worse in this movie than was in Snyder.
There isn't. This is a far superior movie than Joss Whedon's version. Straight and simple. It just is. From every facet of it is better.
So there's 2 Superman scenes. So I'm going to leave you one of them, so I'm not stealing everything from you, okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's... Oh, which one would I choose? You know what? It's when he first puts on the black suit and he flies off into the atmosphere, and you can just see the camera turning. You see his side, all the lines going up the suit, and it's just this gorgeous, clean display of the Superman suit, and he's back, baby. Like, he is Superman.
It's not even it's the whole build up to that moment as well is Cal walking through the ship, the Kryptonian ship that has caused all of these problems, and it's just him hearing his human dad Jonathan Kent and his Kryptonian father Jor-El. It's all the positive reinforcement and the things they told him Superman.
They finish and eat your sandwiches.
Yeah, basically. But it's all the good shit, and it's all like, it's, people might kind of say it's maybe it's a bit painting this Jonathan Kent in a way that he wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, even in Man of Steel, like, yes, it starts off with him saying, hey, look, you've got to look after yourself. And but later on, we do get the hint that he was also raised. The reason Clark has issues with what his father said about you look after yourself is because his father also told him to make a stand when it's right, to make a point. It's a father's love mixed with a father's fear, you know?
Yeah, 100%. But it's beautiful. Yeah. And they go back to the amazing speech that Jor-El gives in Man of Steel. You know, it's just, so I love it so much.
You will join them, and they will join you in the sun,
One day, Cal. They will join you in the sun.
And I rewatched Man of Steel recently,
and love it,
it's actually so good. It's such a good. There's so much good in Man of Steel. There really is.
I'm so happy.
What?
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
They had that scene, and just when he turns in, like, just above Earth, and I know they did the whole Jesus thing again with the arms extended and all that, and that's what Snyder does. I'm not going to keep talking about this, but I didn't expect to like applaud watching this movie. I thought, okay, there's gonna be a few extra scenes. It's gonna be grand. But I think both of them were like, oh!
Yeah, it was incredible.
It was primal. We just went,
yeah, I think I don't know. I'm not surprised in myself that all of my favorite moments, I think, in this are probably Superman moments. To be honest, it's not. I'm not surprised by it because why wouldn't they be? I really like Superman, but
I was saying this to you as well. Like, it felt almost like the Poochie thing from The Simpsons. When it's like every time Poochie's not on screen, we want all the characters to go like, "Where's Poochie?" And that's how I felt watching this, because I was like, every time I went back to the other Justice League, going, "All right, how are you lads? When do we go back to Superman?"
Here's these fucking morons. But the thing is, though, the movie wants us to think that too, because the whole second half of this movie is everybody else in the Justice League agreeing instantly that, well, we can't fucking do it without Superman. He's Superman. He's the best of us. We need him. It's the whole plot is them bringing Superman back to life so he can save them, basically.
Okay, so first of all, can we just say that's a really dark way of looking at this movie as well, though? It's like they're literally trying to resurrect a dead person to fight for them.
That's what they're doing.
Like, yeah. The second thing I love is like, no, this time they'll have to fight all of us. They never had to do that before. And then they make one thing. Actually, the Mother Box didn't call to them because they were terrified because of Superman. Like every single thing, like
I love
Superman's.
That bit.
It's that whole like team at
like
team at 100 capacity, the entire Justice League, 99 capacity, just Superman.
Superman is 99% of the Justice League. Just him on his own. It's just he can do it. And
even the Wonder. Especially when they were having the fight between them, like Wonder Woman tries to stop Superman, and it's like, we get you were saying that we get a little bit of headbutt from each of them and trying to imply, oh, Wonder Woman, she's quite strong, and she's a very strong character, and then Superman just like kind of flies into the air and then air headbutts her, and it's just like
destroys her. That's maybe one of my moments, I think, because it's like the movie is so, because even right before that, Diana is kind of looking at him and she's almost like, I don't want to have to do this, Cal. Like, don't make me hurt you, kind of thing. And the movie is almost kind of like, aha, only like Wonder Woman can stand up to Superman. She's as strong as him. She can say, she can go toe to toe with Superman.
yeah.
But then instantly they're like, no, she can't. What is wrong with you? Who could you like? Yeah. Nobody can go toe to toe with Superman.
Yeah,
he's Superman.
Like, yeah. I hope people don't take that badly as well. Oh, Superman's man. It's not. Superman is a Kryptonian super god. He's Superman.
He's Superman. He's not even. This version of him is not even the strongest him that there's ever been.
Yeah.
You had Superman Prime out there, like holding black holes in his fist and shit. Like,
say one thing though about him, right? In Man of Steel, he did literally fly into a machine that was changing the planet to make him weaker. Like, the plan was literally changed by this machine, and he was at the bottom flying up into it. It's like, oh, this will weaken you, won't it? Yeah. Still going to wreck it, though.
I might be weaker, but, like, I'm still Superman, baby. Which, actually, that's the Christopher Reeves split-second moment in Man of Steel.
Is that real, though? Is that an actual thing?
Yeah, it's there for, like, it's like a single frame or two.
I thought it was just a bad morph that they did.
No, apparently they actually did it. It's just like a split second of Christopher Reeves on the screen, which is cool.
Rest in peace. Awesome Superman.
I love that guy. If anybody hasn't seen his Oscars speech, it's from like after his accident and stuff. It's glorious. It's really emotional.
Also, he's the only Superman which clearly showed me how you can be Clark Kent and Superman and no one would know the difference. That scene where he's with Lois in the flat and he's ready to tell her and he's all crumpled up, he has the glasses on, he's all hunched over, and then Lois goes over and he just takes off the glasses, stands up. It is like a genuine transformation. It's like a holy shit.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Rest in peace.
That's one of your scenes anyway. There's the Wonder Woman and.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I like that. I really, that whole like the rest of the league versus Superman. That whole thing is really fun, to be honest.
Yeah. Again, the Flash scene is probably one of mine. Then, like when they're all fighting him, and then the Flash is like super speed running, and Flash thinks, same old day. Everyone's gonna be stopped in slow motion. I can do my thing. And this has been in the previous movies as well. And then Superman just turns his head, Terminator style. And it's just the Flash, like, and I love how it shoots between them because the Flash's face gets more and more ludicrous. Here,
yeah. Whoa! Who is this?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's back to your turn then. What's another Jesus one for you?
I mean, it's Superman again. It's his entrance to the final fight. Has to be,
and it had to beat a fairly good scene. In the first
so this is the thing. Like one of my favorite moments in the Whedon thing, actually, well, probably one of the only bits I liked, is Superman's, like, when he shows up to fight Steppenwolf in the final fight, and the line in Whedon's one is, I probably won't get this exactly right, but it's something along the lines of somebody, I think Steppenwolf or something says something like, truth and justice don't have any place here, or like something along those lines. Yeah. And Superman rocks in, just kind of floats in.
You don't even see him at first, so that's a beautiful part.
No, but he's just kind of like, you get the impression he's just been waiting for a moment. He's just hanging in his like, somebody's going to say something. Come on, give me a moment here. And he pops in and he's like, actually, I'm a big fan of truth. And I'm also quite fond of justice. And then just punches them.
Oh, he punches between those as well. He goes like, truth.
I'm also quite fond of justice. I love it. It's great. But
it's beautiful.
So that moment is gone here, but Superman still had to make his entrance. And how he does it here is... So Cyborg is stuck like elbow deep in the Unity, which is the three mother boxes combined.
Thank God you didn't say mother.
I had to say the Unity because I didn't want to say Cyborg was elbow deep in the mother. But now I've in the mother's box, but now he's there. And he's like, whatever, he's fucked. The Flash is being an idiot outside, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Steppenwolf is like about to decapitate Cyborg, essentially. He's going to kill him with his like knockoff Mjolnir axe Stormbreaker thing that he has. And right as he swings down with his axe, Superman just like, boop, just appears in front of him. The axe like hits Superman's shoulder and just stops. It just kind of breaks a little. And Superman's just standing there. He like glances at the axe, looks at Steppenwolf, and just says, "Not impressed." And then like,
and he smiles throughout the whole thing as well.
He's just smiling. He's just standing there like, not impressed, with a little smirk on his face. And then just mauls Steppenwolf to death.
Oh, you forget. But we actually even get a bit cool because he starts blowing at the axe. He uses frost breath and everything.
Yeah, he freezes the axe and like shatters it with his hands.
Yeah.
And then like Steppenwolf like tries to claw at him, and you get like another slow-mo scene where like Superman is just like turns his head slightly and just dodges like out of the way, and he's still kind of looking at him with smirk. It's like, is this it? Is this all? Is this it? Like, is this what you people called me back for? Is this why you brought me back from the dead?
And I think throughout the whole thing, he's just smirking. There's none like, oh, now you got me, I'm gonna smash you. No, it's like,
no, he's just there smiling at him, just like, really, come on, guys, just beats him to a pulp.
Yeah, I think that was another one of our applaud moments. We were just yes,
yeah, it was great. Moment.
I guess the next moment was Batman in the final act, really, when he was driving the Batmobile through Chernobyl town, and he had a whole bunch of what are they called again? The
parademons.
Yeah, the monkeys from Was It Rod? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And they definitely are. But like they're going all over the place, and he shoots some rockets at the base of this tower, right? And we see as he's driving this tower slowly collapsing to the side, and he swerves into the collapse. I'm going to be honest, as I was watching this, I was like, "No, Batman, that's a bad decision. You should have turned the other way. The tower's going to hit you, and you'll have to do some stupid maneuver to avoid it." But no, Batman is obviously smarter than me. Because the whole thing hits the ground and then rolls over a whole amount of parademons that are flying. Just because like Batman must have seen the tower and, yeah, it's just the circumference is just big enough that when it falls and it spins, it's just going to be high enough to roll over. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Doot. And he's around shooting hot guns and guns. I'm just going to assume that Batman like has been holding this hate for guns in him for so long that now he's just getting it all out there. Every single. I think there's even paradigms that didn't need to be shot, and he's still went.
To defeat the gun, Batman must become a gun.
Yeah, and he's having a great time. It's finally he's getting that therapy.
It's kind of that moment where I think we were both like, because he's Batman, and there's always a sense of like when Batman's hanging out with like Superman and Wonder Woman and Aquaman and everybody else, you're kind of like, why? Yeah. This shouldn't be Batman's gig. He shouldn't be here. Yeah. Like Batman shouldn't be the guy that you go to like fight Darkseid. Like, you know, he even says in the movie like, "Hey, what's your superpowers? I'm rich." He's just a guy with a lot of fancy toys.
But
he's fucking smart. And this was the moment where we were like, "Okay, Batman, all right, okay, you can hang.
Yeah,
you can.
You're one of the three. Yeah, we get it.
We get it, Batman. You are, come on. It's not the big two; it's the big three. We get it.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. And I really even in general, I really like Ben Affleck in this. I liked the little bit of humor in it. He wasn't making jokes, but there was a bit of like humorous charm in him, and I loved his relationship with just about everyone. I
like that. Like Ben Affleck's Batman is just done. To be honest, like they say it in it. He's been Batman for 20 years now, and he's kind of this older. He's a bit grizzled, and he doesn't have fucking time for any of this shit, which is very Batman. But even like he's so like when the Flash is like all like full of zest and like, oh my god, it's the Batcave. Oh my god, that's the Bat Signal, and like Batman's just like, oh Jesus. Yeah, that's the Bat Signal. Like, cool. Shut up. Like, I'm so sick of this shit.
but say what you want really about Superman being the great part in this movie. Batman is the heart of it. He is the one who's bringing everyone together. He has a relationship with everyone. The only person he doesn't have the biggest relationship is probably Cyborg, but that's where Wonder Woman steps in. But otherwise, he's very much the center of this.
Well, he's founded the Justice League.
Yeah, and then became a part-time member because he just didn't want to spend money.
Well, he turns the decrepit husk of Wayne Manor into Justice League Hall.
Yeah.
Or well, he hasn't done it yet, but that's what they say at the end of the movie. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, we'll put a big table here."
A big massive table. I like that scene though because like he went, "Oh, a big massive table, like I don't know, 50 feet circumference or something like that," and then she went, 6 seats, and went, but big enough for more.
Room for more. Yeah.
Room for more. And they're both
says, Well, Batman says, "Room for more." God help us. That's what Batman says.
Look, I'm not sure if you have any more moments you want to mention, but I'll leave my little bit now until you do that.
The Martian Manhunter scene is cool. The first one.
It's nice to have him.
The first one.
Yeah.
The second one is odd, to be honest. The whole epilogue is odd to me. It's a bit weird, but the first Martian Manhunter scene is nice.
You know who I expected he should have gone to? He should have gone to Superman because he already has a history of Superman.
Yeah, that's what it was. Just kind of strange that he just floats in as like introduces himself to Batman, and then he calls himself the Martian Manhunter because I always thought that he didn't like that name. That he didn't want.
It's also given out in a really awkward way. It's like, oh, have a good conversation. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever we need. There's a war coming. Okay, cool. Anyway, oh, by the way, it's like, oh god.
Many have called me the Martian Manhunter.
Wait, many people know you?
No.
Yes. Why have you shown up before?
Not anymore. I killed them all.
And now I must kill you.
Yeah, but the first scene is I mean it's in there. It's very much there for people to go, oh holy shit, Martian Manhunter, so cool. But it worked, to be honest. It was nice.
Yeah,
it was a nice moment.
The fans wanted it, and he
it was he gave it's fan servicey, but it will allow it. It works. Yeah. It's nice.
Liked some of the older stuff with the New Gods and Green Lanterns in the history when they were looking back and seeing Atlanteans and all them fights. That was some cool stuff there as well,
Yeah,
Zeus looks weird.
Zeus looks real weird. He's like
300.
He is like they plucked him. He is main guy in 300. I can't think of his name.
Yeah,
Jared Butler's character, Leonidas, King Leonidas. He looks like King Leonidas. He's even got the fake abs and everything.
Yeah,
but there's some. Yeah,
It's nice to see the history there. Kind of wanted Green Lantern show up more, to be honest.
Well, that's supposedly, Zack Snyder had wanted Ryan Reynolds to do a Green Lantern cameo thing. Now, I don't know if it would have been like a full him as Green Lantern, but he wanted something like a Hal Jordan thing or like something going on there. But it just ended up like never happened kind of thing. I don't think Ryan Reynolds really wanted to do it either, but Zack Snyder wanted something in the movie with Green Lanterns. I think it just ended up being like a little cameo from Kilowog or something. But
well, no, that's during the battle as well. We had another Green Lantern fighting around. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean modern day. Zack Snyder wanted like a...
Yeah, it would have been nice. Been nice. But I think this movie has so many epilogues. There was so many extra chapters by the end of it. You're just like, let's just finish it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, I think that covers it. Let's piece together our final thoughts.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Right, so final thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yes.
It's good. It's pretty good.
It's fine.
Honestly, it's not
fine.
bad.
Yeah.
It's a vast improvement on what we had previously.
Yeah.
I think in hindsight, I think maybe if I was to go back now and rewatch Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
These two movies, I think Zack Snyder being allowed to finalize the story he wants to tell that started in Batman vs Superman is going to improve Batman vs Superman for me.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot of what he did in that was to move the story towards this. Whereas like when you went from Batman vs Superman to Joss Whedon's thing, doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like, no, these don't work together. This is a more complete story. I mean, I guess the biggest question is, because this feels okay. Now, this is going to sound like a grandiose statement to make about a re-edited Justice League movie, but this feels like a moment in time that's going to be taught in film classes in years to come.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is a cultural event for the world.
Yeah.
This is a studio reversing their earlier decisions and allowing and paying for and giving a director the time to go back and make a movie the way he wanted to make it. Feels like a huge twist in cinema.
Good or bad precedents?
I don't know. I mean,
it was good for this, I think.
Both. It worked for this, but like, if we suddenly have the dude who directed Fan Four Stick clamoring now to get to, because like he said for years that the movie that was released there wasn't his movie and blah blah all this kind of shit. I don't know.
He also seems like a bit of a prick.
Yeah, like I don't know if people are gonna be like, ugh. Like if people are just directors will just start using this as an excuse now, and I think you might see a lot of people now trying to start campaigns for movies like that to get them remade and stuff. But
here's the thing. I don't think I'll mind as long as it doesn't become like a cinema thing. I think in a world of streaming and platforms and all that, it has room to have one-time viewings of remade movies. I think that's a brilliant spot.
Yeah, look,
it's
I mean,
available to everyone. Why not?
Like, director's cuts are already a thing.
Yeah, they are.
You know, they have been for forever. They're like, even Batman versus Superman had an ultimate cut with more scenes in it. You know, there's extended editions of movies.
Is a bit
there's
different.
Director's cuts. There's like Blade Runner has like fucking 6 of them. They're like
but none of them have 2 extra hours of extra film stuff added to it.
Not that much, no. This is like
that matters. I think
those are like
just
but I mean, it's not completely abnormal for a director.
No, it's not.
To go back and the abnormal part of it is that the studio gave him more money to add things that he hadn't shot before. Because director's cuts are normally like there's a bunch of stuff shot that just couldn't make it into the final runtime of the movie, so he just wants to put them in it.
Like Lord of the Rings, for example.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, like Blade Runners, most movies, like big franchise films will have like, I think Alien, James Cameron has a director's cut of Alien, I think, doesn't he? There's a lot of stuff like that. So like the unique part is that the studio were like, yeah, here's an extra $70 million to go and like shoot more stuff and redo the CG and get the actors back and keep going with the movie, essentially.
Yeah.
Where, you know, that's the unique part. And I don't know if I would like it. Personally, I'd like it more if the lesson that studios took from this is that they should just fucking maybe keep their hands out of the filmmaking process, and just if you hire a director and the reason you hire him is because you want his vision to build your franchise, then let him do it.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not going to work every time. Maybe you're going to hire somebody and they're going to make something that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
But that's a risk you take with every movie.
It's the integrity of it.
You take that no matter what movie you're making, there's a chance that the director is going to fuck up or like something's going to go wrong and it's not going to be good. So just Warner Brothers, Marvel, Disney, whoever the fuck, whatever, you're building a franchise.
Yeah.
Star Wars, listen, Star Wars in particular, listen. Yeah. If you hire somebody to make your franchise, to be the Jeff Johns or the Joss Whedon or the Russo brothers for your franchise, let them do it. And
Disney has had proven to itself that does work. Like, you know,
it's worked. Kevin Feige has done it at Marvel. It's worked for the MCU. All right.
It's worked for Star Wars even. Like, you know, it has. The Mandalorian is very much the vision of the show's creators. And they did a phenomenal job.
I mean, it's worked on that show. Yeah. It hasn't
well, I think that's an important lesson. I think it's an important lesson. Like, take it from there.
Yeah,
look how many people. No, but the reason I'm saying, like, look at how people were just tired of the films. They were exhausted, and then this little show on the side came out, and it brought fans back. It just re-energized them.
I was strictly thinking of the films, to be honest.
Yeah,
and Disney.
Well, I don't think we live in that time anymore. We can just ignore
Disney
TV series anymore.
Disney did the complete opposite. Of this with the Star Wars, with the sequel trilogy in particular.
Like, first one, hey, let's pander to the fans a little bit. It's fine. And the second one, okay, they said they don't like pandering. We'll do something different. Oh no, they didn't like that. Right, back to pandering. 200%. Go, go, go.
They just messed that up completely.
Yeah,
but I hope that's the lesson. I guess that's taken from this, rather than like. I hope it's not a case of people being like, well, we got it wrong that time, so let's just do it again.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they don't turn around now and be like, Disney will be like, okay, well, The Rise of Skywalker was the worst thing that's ever been put on a cinema screen. Let's give Colin Trevorrow the money and let him remake The Rise of Skywalker the way he wrote it in the original. So, I don't know.
Let's not do that. But here's the real question. Snyder put down a lot of chips on the table about his idea of the universe. We see the return of Lex Luthor. We see a different timeline. We see these characters who seem to be working together now, like the Justice League itself. There seems to be a lot building up. Do you think would you like to pick up what he put down?
Well, the directors of the other movies, as far as they're concerned, they're building their movies off of this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's already happening. I guess, like, Shazam 2, like the Superman that's in Shazam 2 is this Superman. Superman is going to be the Superman that like sort of half has a cameo at the end of the first Shazam.
Oddly done, yeah.
It's this Superman. It's supposed to be this Superman. Like, Aquaman is supposed. I mean, I think it's a load of shit, but it's supposedly set after this movie and not after Joss Whedon.
Yes.
Wonder Woman 3, when that comes out, which if that's set present day, is this Wonder Woman. It's the same Wonder Woman from this movie. So I guess it's happening already. I guess, would I like to see another Justice League movie that's like a direct sequel to this? Not really, to be honest.
Would you like a Snyder movie? Another Snyder movie?
I wouldn't.
Not necessarily just Justice League, but
I'd watch
inside that universe.
Like, I'd watch it, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I'd definitely watch it if it comes out. It's not my preference for where the DC universe should be going, like, tonally. I think we should be past the kind of like somber, darker, realistic tones that
Yeah.
that DC wanted when they hired
This is
Zack
not
Snyder.
anymore a
it's-
human world reacting to superheroes. Supers are here. Now they used
I
to
just
it.
don't.
Let's see the fun.
I don't want it anymore.
Not the fun, but the light.
Superhero movies. Give us, I don't.
Yeah, let us join him in the sun.
Yeah, we've stumbled for so long now. Let us be there. I want to see good people doing good things. I don't
That's
need.
the thing. We saw Superman. Like, Superman in this was great. Like, he really was. Especially his human things when he was at the farm with Lois and all that. I love that stuff, and it was all lovely. Really like that kind of. He is just a guy from the country, who just likes life, and he plays with a butterfly in his hand. He's not this weird alien monster that Batman originally thought he was. Give us that happiness, because clearly the world seemed to care about him, because the amount of like London in peril and like the big flag.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that terrorist group. You mentioned it as well. Let's not go that way.
Well, no, that was just weird. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope they move towards a lighter.
Yeah.
Like almost not exactly like the cheesiness of the Christopher Reeves Superman, which is great, but something lighter. Like, I don't really need. That's why I'm not really interested in this Batman movie that's coming out. I don't care. I don't need to see darkness and fucking like morbidness in superhero
especially
movies
now
anymore. It's just
especially now
we don't need it. We need Superman. We need the good guy. We need.
Do you know what he needs? You know what that symbol means on his chest? Go on.
Where I come from, it means hope.
Yes, let's give us some hope. And again, that's not talking shit about the previous movies. Like, Man of Steel was a really
they're
great
good.
movie.
I like them. They were great. We had them. We've tried it. We've done this. Like, we've had the Dark Knight trilogy. We've had Man of Steel. We've had superheroes living in like a real world. I don't need it anymore. I think we've tried that. Let's move on. Let's give us something else.
We've seen it even in the Joss Whedon cut. People seem to like Superman now. Like, people aren't terrified of him anymore. They respect him. They actually were happy he existed in, hey, this guy's for us. He's about us. He's looking after us.
Give me.
Now we don't have to worry about, what will the government think? No, it's fine.
Give me, give me campy Batman.
Yeah, give me campy. Give me Superman shaking the president's hand or something stupid like that.
Anything. Somebody shoot shot for shot the scene of Superman stopping that girl from jumping off a building from the comics.
Show me Wonder Woman just like playing in the park with a bunch of girls, showing them how to be warriors. Give me that. I'd love that. I'd applaud that.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want my heroes to be heroes.
Show me the Flash arriving late to everything. Just even though he has a super speed, like, give me the.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go back to the tropes and let our heroes be heroes.
Yeah,
that's my takeaway from this fucking thing. I guess that's it. We've covered the Snyder Cut. Thank God. I'm putting it under lock and key. I'm never talking about it again. It's over. We've done it now for an hour and a half. I don't ever want to mention it again. Please, no. I'm not even going to reference it in future podcasts. I don't want to. It's over now. It's been 4 years of life devoted to the
release the extended Snyder Cut.
Release the Snyder Cut Ultimate Edition. It's 5 hours long. We want it now.
No, release the Joss Whedon Snyder Cut amalgamation movie. Cut out every scene that can fit together. About 6 movies.
That's probably going to happen. And I guess I'll end it with
someone's going to do that.
If you are scared by something that has a 4-hour runtime, stop being a baby. Goodbye.
Asherlo. It's a big rent.